This is a music theory lesson about the treble clef. We will be reviewing our music vocabulary and memory tools. For this lesson, you are going to need a pencil and an eraser and your lesson spiral. Let's talk about what we've been learning. We are going to draw the music staff. The music staff has 5 lines. We're going to use the lines of our notebook paper to help us draw our lines. You can use a ruler if you want, and you can pause this video at any time. Now let's number our lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's number our spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's label this. Music staff. Okay. The 5 lines and 4 spaces is the music staff. Now we are going to talk about the treble clef today. So let's draw our treble clef. And now I'm going to add the loop. The treble clef, let's label it. Treble, clef. And I'm going to draw an arrow. I'm also going to draw an arrow like this because the other name for the treble clef is the G clef. The clef sign tells us where the note alphabet is on the lines and spaces. And remember, the music staff is the piano keyboard. So let's draw our notes in the C scale. These are the notes that we've been learning. Middle C, D, diggity dog D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now let's label our notes. Let's write the word middle because this is middle C, in the middle of the piano. D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now I drew whole notes for my notes. You can tell when a note is on a line because the line goes straight through the middle. You can see the line going straight through the middle of the note, and you know the note is on a line. When a note is on a space, you see it in between 2 lines, sandwiched in between 2 lines, and you know that the note is on a space. These notes are going in steps. A line to a space, a line to a space is a step. I'm going to draw a time signature. This is 4/4. So I can see my numbers better. I'm going to shade them. I'm going to darken my lines. Okay, so let's label the time signature. Time signature. Now I'm going to make my notes into half notes. I'm going to draw a stem touching the note head. So let's label that. I'm going to draw an arrow to one of the notes, and I'm going to say this is the note head. And I'm going to draw an arrow like this to the stem and label it stem. Now I'm going to draw some bar lines. Since I made these notes into half notes, I'm going to put the bar line in between every two notes. And now I'm going to label the bar line. And I'm going to draw the double bar line at the end. And I'm going to label it down here. Double bar line. And up here, I'm going to draw a bracket and I'm going to label the measure. We have 4 measures. Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything inside 2 bar lines is a measure. Now I'm going to draw a half note and I'm going to label it like this. Half note gets 2 beats. And then I'm going to draw a whole note and I'm going to write whole note gets 4 beats. You can pause the video at any time. Now let's check our symbols and see if we've labeled everything. This is the music staff, the 5 lines and spaces. So maybe what I'll do is I'll draw an arrow over here. We labeled our treble clef. It's also the G clef. We labeled our time signature. We labeled our notes, middle C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We drew bar lines and labeled it. We labeled the parts of the note head and the stem. We labeled what a measure is, and we labeled the double bar line. And we also labeled the half note gets 2 beats and the whole note gets 4 beats. Now we're going to draw the music memory tool. So let's write it right here. The music memory tool. And we're going to draw our 5 lines again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're focusing on the treble clef. So let's draw the treble clef again. And we're going to stack the spaces. I'm going to draw a note in the spaces. And I'm drawing them big enough so I can write F, A, C, E. And that spells the word face. And now I'm going to draw an arrow and I'm going to write the word spaces. And now I'm going to draw a bar line and I'm going to stack the lines like this, making sure the line goes through the note. These notes are on the lines. So I'm going to say lines. You can pause this video at any time if I'm going a little too fast. Now I'm going to write the sentence that is a memory tool to help us remember the names of these notes. Empty. Garbage. Before. Dad. Flips. E, G, B, D, F. Here's a vocabulary word. interval. An interval is the distance between two notes. Okay, so I'm going to draw this, and between these two notes, we're going to call it a step. I'll draw an arrow. Okay. The interval is how far two notes are from each other. Now we're going to write out the theory test. Turn your page over. And these are the questions for our theory test. Let's write the questions out together. Theory test. 1. How many lines are in the music staff? How many lines are in the music staff? How many lines are in the music staff? Two. How many beats does a whole note get? Two. How many beats does a whole note get? Two. How many beats does a whole note get? Three. How many spaces are in the music staff? Three. How many spaces are in the music staff? Three. How many spaces are in the music staff? 4. How many beats does a half note get? 4. How many beats does a half note get? 4. How many beats does a half note get? 5. What are the letters in the treble clef spaces? 5. What are the letters in the treble clef spaces? 5. What are the letters in the treble clef spaces? 6. What sentence do we use for the lines of the treble clef? 6. What sentence do we use for the lines of the treble clef? 6. What sentence do we use for the lines of the treble clef? 7. What is the other name of the treble clef? 7. What is the other name of the treble clef? 7. What is the other name of the treble clef? 8. What instrument represents the music staff? 8. What instrument represents the music staff? 8. What instrument represents the music staff? 9. The distance between two notes is called what? The distance between two notes is called what? 9. The distance between two notes is called what? The distance between two notes is called what? 10. A line to a space is called a what? 10. A line to a space is called a what? Be sure to write all of your answers in your lesson spiral and then go to the Google form and submit your theory test. Good job!